Hello, this is a pick a card reading for how to heal your love life. This is specifically for anyone who is currently in a relationship, maybe separated from somebody in a relationship, but it will be dealing with the feelings on both sides of you two, I guess. If you're in a non-monogamous relationship, then it can apply to whoever it is that you are most concerned with at this time. So we have Peach Moonstone, Rose Quartz, and Ametrine. You can take your time to choose whichever one calls to you the most. Here, let me actually pull them slightly closer. So go ahead, choose whichever one calls to you the most, and I will include timestamps for each section in the description box below. By the way, before I get started, I just wanted to let you know that I have a Patreon if you would like to receive videos like this, my full moon, new moon videos, or the zodiac sign readings in advance before they go public on YouTube. Feel free to join my Patreon if that is something that you are interested in. I also have a free Facebook group called Neurodivergent Witchery, Astrology and Tarot, or is it Witchery, Tarot, and Astrology? I don't know. I'll leave a link below. If you find this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment letting me know if this reading rang true for you in any way. And let's get into the reading. So first we have group 1. For the current pain point or challenge of your connection right now, we have the Queen of Cups. How they feel about it, we have the Princess of Wands. How you feel about it, Six of Wands. Their core wound that is being activated right now, a Nine of Cups. Your core wound that's being activated right now, the Fool. Steps to take toward healing your connection, and additional advice, Eight of Cups. So, oh, and then there's also an oracle card reading using the Kuan Yin deck, and we will take a look at this towards the end. So, right off the bat, what I am getting from this reading is that right now it feels as though you've kind of hit, I don't want to say like that you've hit the lottery or the jackpot or anything like that with this relationship that you have, but it kind of seems like you finally found the right person. But what might be going on underneath the surface of this connection is that they want something else. I'm kind of getting this sense that they kind of want you, like they're kind of trying to push this personality, identity, something onto you in order to satisfy their own desires in relationships, which, I mean, it's totally good and fine to satisfy your own desires in relationships as long as no one's getting hurt. But this is a situation where it's kind of eroding at your sense of self. So you either are newer to relationships or you've been in probably some not so great relationships with people. And so even though it feels like it's a good connection, even though it feels like this person values you and wants you and loves you, it really is only surface level. And I hate to say that, like I hate to just come out and just rain on your parade, but the thing is, like there is this intuition here. There is this knowing that there's just something that's off about this, and that you're not honoring yourself in this relationship. And it's kind of making you feel like, I don't know, like it's a difficult spot to be in. Sort of like, we want to be loved for who we are. We want to be valued. We want to be able to give and receive love. But sometimes we settle for relationships and situations that don't treat us the way that we should be treated, or they don't value us for who we really are. And sometimes it can feel even harder. It could feel even worse to think about being alone than to think about being in a relationship that's problematic, to say the least. I kind of lost my train of thought a moment ago because I got distracted by second guessing myself while doing this reading. But I hope that made some sense. So it's kind of like, well, do I go back to being by myself, feeling lonely, feeling unwanted, feeling like you don't have somebody to go to? Or do I accept the breadcrumbs that I'm given? Do I accept the love that is given to me conditionally? At a certain point, that just becomes entirely unacceptable to experience. But so there's this sort of like inner battle with yourself, if this is ringing true to you, where you're trying to decide like what it is that you want and what you deserve. And it's kind of like you're battling the part of you that doesn't feel like you deserve to be loved for who you are, and the part of you that thinks like, this is fine. It's fine to be with somebody who is constantly trying to turn me into someone that I'm not. With the Eight of Cups in the final position for the additional advice, like this is the card of walking away. This is the card of leaving things behind. I know that this reading is called How to Heal Your Love Life, and it might sound like how to heal your current relationship, but sometimes healing our relationships, our ability to relate with others, it involves healing our relationship with ourselves. By healing your love life, you're healing the way that you're healing the things that have kind of influenced you to accept less than what you deserve. And by examining where these feelings come from, we can begin to see that they're not the truth of who we are, that they're things that we've been taught over time by other people who don't know how to, who also didn't know how to value you. I hope I'm making sense. I'm really sorry about, I keep losing my train of thought with this because of the noise outside, and because it's been really hard for me to do readings lately and to feel confident while recording myself doing readings. But I think that the Fool in the position for your core wound is what I was just describing, like that feeling like that you're not enough, and so it's okay for someone to try to help you to become a better version of yourself. I'd be like a hand gestures. I'm trying to like use my hands more to speak because I do not have my face on camera for this one. For the Oracle card, we have Mother Fierce. And I will read out part of her interpretation. It says, Mother Fierce is your guardian. Nothing can penetrate the passionate fire of her fearless love. Your safety is assured. In the midst of any apparent challenge or threat, no matter how frightening it may seem, no matter how insecure you might feel about taking a step on your spiritual path into more power, know that you are safe, know that you are protected, and know that you are loved. It says, you've been growing spiritually, and sometimes this evokes responses from others. The responses may be loving and affirming, encouraging and validating. Many will choose to be inspired by your growth. Sometimes, however, lower vibrational responses will arise, which might be fearful, insecure, jealous, or angry. These responses arise so that they can be healed. The healing for you is in how you choose to allow yourself to shine and not be diminished by the healing process of another. For the other, their healing is their journey, and you have offered them a great service. Know that you do not need to be afraid, nor do you need to hold yourself back out of fear. And this actually makes me think of something else as well, with this person who is trying to kind of mold you in their image. I completely forgot. This card is reminding me to tell you that it has absolutely nothing to do with you, and usually the people who try to change you are afraid of the power that you actually have, and so they do everything that they can to try to diminish that. And it can begin early because, we choose relationships that feel comfortable, that remind us of the love that we were or were not given growing up, the way that we were treated by others. And if you're with someone who is highly unconscious and they see you like leveling up into this divine being that you are, they can become even more power hungry. They can become more controlling. They can become harsher. They can do everything that they possibly can to try to bring you down and to make you feel like you do have to rely on them for validation, for feeling secure, for feeling worthy. But again, it's all conditional, and it all has to do with them trying to secure their own sense of power and trying to make up for whatever they unconsciously perceive themselves as lacking. I hope that made sense. I hope that was helpful for you. If you would like to get a one-on-one reading with me, you can check out my website. You can go to my booking page and schedule a one-on-one session, or so you can do a one-on-one reading with me, or you can get a pre-recorded video of your reading. And yes, leave a like, subscribe if this was useful for you, and I will see you in a future video. Group 2 with the rose quartz. So in the first position for the current pain point or challenge in your relationship, we have the 7 of Cups. How they feel about what's going on, 8 of Wands. For how you feel, Ace of Cups. Their core wound that is being activated right now, 8 of Swords. Your core wound, the Hierophant. Steps to take toward healing your connection, the Wheel of Fortune. And additional advice, the 10 of Cups. And this oracle card from the Kuan Yin Oracle deck we will take a look at towards the end of the reading. So, what I'm getting from this is commitment issues. but but at the same time, these are commitment issues that are being handled. They are being dealt with. They're being acknowledged for what they are, and things are going to move forward fairly quickly once that is dealt with. So, for some of you, it could be that you're actually thinking about proposing or want to propose but are terrified. As you know, I think that makes sense. That's a pretty big commitment to make. But it could also just be that choosing one person or something like means that you know the whole like challenge that comes from like dating in the Tinder age, I guess, where it's like there's too many choices and you can never really be certain that you're choosing the right one. It's kind of like that. And then when it comes to marriage, it's like this whole institution requires paperwork, money, etc. So it's like, ugh. So it looks like they're the one who is a little bit more panicked about things because you're over here like, yes, sweet. This is awesome. I love this relationship. But they're kind of just like, they're kind of in like freak out mode. They're kind of in panic mode right now. Whether they're like, shit, do I leave? Do I propose now so that I don't mess up later and leave? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of getting this idea of someone like making a proposal or making something official so that they don't try to sabotage it too soon or something like that. I don't know. I'm having trouble getting my thoughts out today. And for them, I think that a lot of the hesitancy around this is that they grew up with parents who were trapped in an unhappy marriage. And for them, this means a few different things. It means that they learned that marriage is not a happy thing. Or they learned that marriage ruins relationships, or that the love and passion dies after the marriage happens. Stuff like that. Just generally being trapped in an unhappy relationship. For you, the core fear being activated, so on the surface, you're like super excited about all of this, but because of their sort of iffy level of commitment, I guess, because of that, it could definitely trigger some core fears as well. The Hierophant in your position is interesting because it does represent like the institution of marriage, like I mentioned a moment ago. So with the Hierophant, I'm also kind of getting this idea that maybe you're worried that if you don't get married or make this commitment, then this person will leave you. It's sort of like it's almost like your desires are both compatible with each other and at odds with each other. So there's the one person who is kind of like stuck between wanting to rush into commitment and stuck between running away from commitment. Like it's just the two extremes. And while they think that marriage is going to kind of trap them in some unhappy relationship, you're hoping that something as serious as marriage will help protect that relationship. Steps to take toward healing your relationship, the Wheel of Fortune. I see this as you two becoming conscious of what you learned about relationships, commitment, marriage, etc. Becoming conscious about what you've learned about these things and to talk about them together. Like, be open and honest about things. And with the Wheel of Fortune, I see this as you sort of like breaking that pattern. So for them, recognizing that marriage can be something, commitment can be something that is fulfilling, long lasting, happy. And for you, that maybe you don't even need marriage to I know this is so contradictory, but maybe you don't even need marriage to ensure that you're going to be, loved and taken care of and all of that. But overall, it looks like things between you two, like the love that you have for each other is there. It's strong, it's real. But there's just this anxiety around like whether or not you two are even fit for relationships in the first place. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but it's just I just think that it's such a common challenge that many of us end up facing. That sense of trust, worth, vulnerability, believing that we are capable of being loved, we are capable of loving, stuff like that. So, Kuan Yin, we have Turquoise Lotus Mother. And I will read what the guidebook has to say and then talk a little bit more about it after. Turquoise Lotus Mother brings precious healing to you. Allow yourself to be lifted out of your struggle. An old pattern is finally in its death throes, something that weighed heavily on you from your past. This can be one of the most testing times to allow something to go, just when it seems to be so demanding of your time, focus, and attention. Yet, do not doubt, you have actually learned the lessons it required of you, and now you are being blessed with an opportunity to receive karmic healing. There are some lessons in our process of spiritual growth that cut right to the core of our being, that challenge us so deeply that even as we learn the lessons and practice the wisdom, we can still struggle to outgrow the grip of the pattern. No matter how hard we try, we might not feel that we are ever going to be able to completely release the challenge, and no matter how much we grow, there is still a thread of the past that hangs on. We need a spiritual rescue remedy if we are ever to be free of the clutches of this persistent pain. Listen to your guidance now. Notice if you feel inspired to visit a healer. Listen repeatedly to particular healing music. Go to a class or meditate at home at a particular time or just more often. This oracle also indicates that if you've been working with crystals, turquoise in particular, to continue to do so, as it is empowering for you and is helping you to heal whether you're completely conscious of this or not. So I think that one thing that really helps us when dealing with fears that don't seem to make much sense, or even if they're fears that seem to make sense, sorry, I'm just laughing because of how vague that is, recognizing how much of our beliefs and how much of our perspective is influenced by what we learned, what we saw growing up, helps us to be able to create that new reality, more or less, and to allow for things to be better, allow for things to be easy. And you don't have to rush things. Your partner doesn't have to rush things. You just have to be present with each other and understand each other and have open, honest conversations about things. Because especially if we're talking about commitment and marriage here, like if you can't have open, honest conversations, raw, vulnerable conversations with each other before getting married, it's going to be a rough time until you get that taken care of. I'm not saying that people who have already gotten married and have that kind of struggle are doomed. I'm not saying that at all. But there are some people out there who are just never going to open up to even their closest loved ones in the way that is necessary for open conversations that will help to make relationships to make relationships stronger. But and it's good to know if you're with somebody who is open to that. Even though it's difficult, it can be really, really difficult for people to open up, but at least having that willingness to try is so important, and it's good to kind of get a gauge on that as soon as you can in a relationship. But between you two, I think that things are going to be good as long as you have that openness and as long as you allow that honesty between you two to flow, to know that your fears are not personal to the other person, if that makes sense. I think that you two are going to go a long way. So I hope that that was useful for you. If you would like to do a one-on-one reading with me about your relationship stuff or anything else, check out my website, sign up on my booking page, or order a pre-recorded video, sort of like this one, that I'll send to you after we talk about whatever it is that you want me to do a reading on. Like the video if this was useful for you, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Hi, group 3. So in your first position for the current pain point or challenge, we have 3 of Wands. How they feel about it, whatever is going on, Temperance. How you feel about it, 4 of Wands. Their core wound that is being activated, the Sun. Your core wound being activated, 2 of Pentacles. Steps to take toward healing your connection, 9 of Pentacles. And additional advice, Prince of Cups. And we have a Kuan Yin Oracle card that we will take a look at towards the end of the reading. So it looks on the surface, with just what these cards look like, that things are actually pretty good. It's almost like, if anything, you might be too worried about things not working out, even though like things are kind of fine. I think in general, maybe the biggest fear that is kind of coming through this is the fear of change, fear of letting go of control over something. For them in their core fear position, we have the Sun, and this can mean so many different things. It could be them. It could be that they are either afraid of becoming too happy, or they could be afraid of ever being anything but happy. But under the surface, like, there's this extremely, raw, emotional, passionate side of them that might not be expressed in the way that they really need to, in the way that they would like to. They've never really felt safe to be unhappy, or they've never felt safe to express their emotions. I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here and just going straight to the stuff at the bottom, but I mean, like, up at the top we have the 3 of Wands and the 4 of Wands, and that just looks like growth. It looks like stability. It looks like planning for the future, excitement, stuff like that. For them, it looks like they're pretty chill. Like, they're just, living their life, etc. Like, it looks fine up here. So honestly, I'm not entirely sure why you clicked on this video. But we'll take a look at the Kuan Yin card in a second. 9 of Pentacles, steps to take towards healing your connection. I think that this might just be the need for you to recognize that things are actually pretty good right now. Maybe you've been with somebody before who kind of like hid their true feelings from you, and so because your partner is so happy and chill, you might be worried that there's like something beneath the surface that is just like stewing, upset, etc. On that note, it could also be that this person could be afraid of conflict. if the thing I said about fear of expressing true emotions rings true at all, it could be that this repressed emotional side could be showing up as like passive aggressiveness. But I think that this reading is extremely varied for everybody who is watching it right now. Kuan Yin, Dance of the Butterfly Queen. So I'll read what it says here and then I'll go into a little bit more. So it says, a pure heart and sincere love attracts divine grace. With the grace of Kuan Yin, Butterfly Queen, from that which was impossible becomes possible. From caterpillar to winged creature of delight, you cannot restrain what divine grace ordains, no matter how incredible it may seem to be. So, completely, like, feeling like this relationship is too good to be true when it actually can be true. Whatever has been troubling you or whatever has been inspiring you, allow grace to infuse a situation or dream so that it may unfold with divine perfection. Allow the Butterfly Queen to dance. She will bring healing and grace to your life situation with lightness of step and grace in her heart. Divine grace is not suddenly having a valuable lesson taken away from you. It is the intervention of compassionate, unconditionally loving divine intelligence that helps you to realize you have learned what you can, and now it is time for you to be assisted out of the situation, to be lifted up into a new vibrational experience. Turn your mind to the expectation of peaceful resolution and inspirational assistance. Let go of deep feelings of unworthiness that require that you must continue to struggle with limited resources on your own. Surrender false notions that allowing others to assist you is dependency, whether these others are in human form or spiritual form on the inner planes. It is interdependence to allow yourself to be assisted and to assist others. You are not handing over your power. You are allowing empowered divine relationship to make your power grow so that you can rise above and be blessed. Butterfly Queen urges you now to let the heaviness of the situation go. Allow your heart to become light as air, as though her butterfly dance was tickling your heart. So, yeah, the Two of Pentacles here and the Nine of Pentacles here, it is possible that maybe something has happened in your finances or something like that where you're kind of needing the help from somebody else right now, but like you really don't want to feel like you're dependent on somebody. You don't want to feel like you're a burden on somebody, but just like let them help you. Like it's okay to accept help. And it's possible that in previous relationships, when somebody offered help and you accepted it, they might have held that over your head and manipulated you in that way. But I don't think that this person is going to do that to you. I mean, use your discernment. This is a general reading, but I think that you're probably in a position now where it is safe to accept help, and it's safe to trust that if something is wrong, they're going to tell you. And if nothing is wrong, then they don't need to tell you that something is wrong. Yeah, so that is that. If you have any specific questions about your own relationship and you'd like to get a reading with me, check out my website, go to the booking page. You can schedule a one-on-one reading with me, or you can order a video reading just like this one to be sent to you after we talk about whatever it is that you want the reading to be about. If this was helpful for you, please like the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!